Coming in on this fine Saturday morning, and we're going to do rear discs and pads on a BMW 330d. First thing, let's get this wheel off. Now we've got the wheel off, you need to get this anti-rattle clip off the caliper. Do it one-handed, very simple, and just pull it out. Get your brake pipe clamp tool, clamp the flexi, and we need to get 11mm for the bleed nipple. Now you've got your nipple slacked off, get your little pry bar in between the disc and the pad and pull the caliper back, push your pot back, and what you're doing there, you are removing the contaminated brake fluid from the caliper. And then get your 8mm Allen key and get the slider pins out. Now you need to get your impact gun, wobbly, and a 16mm, and we will remove these caliper carrier bolts just like that. Now we're back down to working out. Get yourself a little toffee hammer, give the disc a good hammer. Now we give the disc a bit of a taparoonie. You need to get your bolt holes lined up, and there's a little adjuster in there which I'll show you when the disc is off. Let's get our 6mm now and pull the disc off and slacken the adjuster. And that is the disc off, and that's the adjuster that I was on about. And the idea of it is, as you pull the handbrake up and the brake shoes wear, this little gear here, that turns and it takes a slack up. Anyway, get yourself some emery cloth and give the shoes a good clean. Once you've cleaned all your shoes down, give everything a nice bit of a clean with brake and clutch cleaner. Before you put the disc back on, make sure you get your hub surface nice and clean with your Car & Catcher 2000. Now the disc's back on, get your screwdriver or whatever you want to use on the adjuster, tighten the adjuster up until the disc doesn't turn, and then just slack it off 1 or 2 teeth and it'll be spot on. Now before you put the caliper carrier back on, cleanliness is your best friend when you're fitting brakes. You need to make the contact points look like brand new, and all I use is a little square file. Now before we put the pads in the caliper and then back on the carrier, you need to make sure that your brake sliding pin is spotless, and how I do that, put the slide pin in the batch ratchet with a bit of memory cloth and spin it around. Now let's get the pads in, and what I use to fit them is a bit of Bosch Superfit on the top and the bottom of the pad. Do not put it on the surface, and they should just slide in like brand new, and the same applies to the other side, but it clips into the caliper. Now to put your nice clean sliders in, just put a little bit of red rubber grease on the shaft, always lube your shaft, and just slide it into the carrier caliper and torque it up. Now all there is to do is put this brand new wear sensor on. It clips into the brake pad, up and around the axle, down there and behind that cover. And there we go, that is a new brake pad wear sensor in. Let's get these wheels back on. Now we are back in the car, we've topped the brake fluid up, torqued the rear wheels up, bled the brakes, just getting on the autel now and telling the vehicle that it's had rear brake pads. And there we go, that is the iDrive all set up and telling the customer that it's had rear brake pads and it is okay for 31,000 miles. Great bit of kit this autel is, and I do love this car, fair play. It is a bit of me. Anyway, let's take it down the road for a test drive and get it.